it was a good year on a whole, and I'm told that you're retiring next week and you're leaving on a high, highest ever VNB margins, higher individual premiums, highest bonus to policy holders. How do you sum up the fourth quarter as a whole?
You see, the impact actually post product regulation change, it has impacted our Q3 last year. Yeah. But somehow we regained in Q4, actually towards last part, towards March, not in January, February. February some growth was there, but March we... So that made some, whatever loss we made, that we could make up during Q4.
Sir, and if you look at the APE growth, for the first half it was 26% odd. And full year we have seen, on a flattish note we are ending. How do you see APE growth from here on, and what do you see as the key strengths of LIC which will drive that APE growth going into FY26?
You see, if you see entire industry, EV has been affected 24-25. But for us, somehow we have shown some good growth, 6.45% growth in EV. So current year 26, I am confident because the way we have taken certain strategies, further growth will be there in EV.
And how about the APE growth, premium?
AP actually last year AP was just flat because of, as I told, product regulation changes and all those things. Our people, they take time to adjust. But current year we have particularly focused on WRP and AP. That is our target, not a total premium like single, non-single, no. Yeah, WRP, AP. So my sense is in current year there will be good growth in AP.
So while non-par has been good for you, you've been able to take it up as part of a product profile to 27%. Par is something which is a challenging one because of the regulatory changes we saw in the second half of the year. How do you see par product growth, especially given the fact that the ticket size have gone up for par products? So how do you see the growth coming in for par products?
You see, par we still maintain more than 72% because 27.69 is our non-par share and 72.31% is par share. And par, you see, yesterday we declared 56,000 crore plus bonus.
Yes, highest ever actually.
Highest ever bonus that will go to par policyholders. Yes. So my sense is par product also will launch, which will be attractive, and the policyholder will decide whether to take non-par or par, because both products have their own inherent characters which will attract policyholders. Benefits are there. So par policy also will maintain our in total basket, though non-par will grow, but will not ignore par.
Sir, we've been talking for a couple of years, and every year when we speak, you talk about how you are focusing on product innovation and product mix change towards non-par so that your VNB margins go up. We're ending the year at 17.6% in VNB margin. How do you see that margin going up from here? And what is the kind of strategy that you will have for non-par? Because you have always said that you want to reach out to the private players who have 20 to 25% VNB margin, and that's a goal ultimately which LIC has. So what is the game plan that you have here?
You see, margin last year 23-24 we gave a 16.8%. So now 80 basis points growth is there, 17.6. And the way current year strategy already we have adopted, initiated work is going on. Further growth will be there, and I am very much confident at least a 2-3% growth will be there in the current year margin, VNB margin.
Do you see FY26 you ending with a VNB margin of 20%?
Around that is our objective.
And that would be led with more non-par products coming into play?
Both non-par will be there, of course, non-par will be there.
One of the things which is coming out is the kind of distribution network that you have been able to put. You have around more than 50% people more than 5 years into the play. How is distribution playing a bigger role now, given that you have challenges coming from the regulatory front with respect to ticket size of par policies have to be increased and those things coming into force?
No, it takes actually time, because any change, because that will take time, because our field force, they have to adjust. And already that is over. Last 6 months, you see, our field force, and some impact on business also is there. But current year they have adjusted, and ticket size, any change, our agents are well prepared, and they will sell good policies.
And they should be able to come back to normalized level of selling?
Normal, yes.
And that will happen in FY26?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You said that non-par is now roughly around 28%, 27.6%. What should be the optimal mix for par and non-par?
You see, that depends on how we promote our non-par product, but there will be good mix, and some growth will be there. Further, some growth will be there in non-par.
And because that's the one which is driving your margin, and you said your driving margins have to reach to 20 plus levels. So is the aggressive push that we have seen in the last 2-3 years under your leadership of pushing more non-par so that we get a better VNB margin, that's going to continue?
You see, though margin, of course, growth in margin will be focused, but at the same time, growth in bonus, as we demonstrated 56,000 crore plus, both to make that balance, it is a very difficult, challenging task. But I am thankful to entire my team, actuarial people, everything. So we will maintain both. We will demonstrate growth in margin. We will also demonstrate growth in bonus also. So both par as well as non-par products, focus will be on both, but there will have balance mix.
As an industry leader, sir, we saw the biggest disruption in par products because of the surrender value regulations which came in. How did you navigate through that? Because that would be a good learning for industry of how the leader managed a rehaul of the entire product portfolio and relaunching it and coming back.
You see, last 6 months, because regulation came in October, we do not experience any such adverse thing in surrender. And my sense is because surrender, in any case, surrender is lost to the policyholder. And surrender defeats the purpose of insurance. So even if surrender regulation has changed, first year more surrender value you will get, but you will get still less whatever you have paid. So you are a loser. And over and above, you are losing your risk also. There will be no risk because you are out of contract. So my sense is this regulation will have very, very minimum impact or no impact, because it is actually designed for people who may be under stress, because somebody has taken a policy under some circumstances, but certainly something, some family emergency, medical emergency, something happens, he wants to withdraw, he does not have any other source. So he wants to surrender that policy. Earlier that was not there, now that is there. So that category of people will be very, very negligible, very minimal, and unless there is very much urgency, nobody will withdraw policy.
And you see this impact having very minimal going into FY26 as all your policies have been redesigned accordingly.
Yes.
How do you, what is the kind of strategy that you're going to have for par policies going forward? Because this is a policy which is more in term insurance kind of nature, and as you said, only under stress people will surrender. But are there policy product gaps for you in the par segment?
PAR also will also depending upon the feedback from market, because we take market feedback from our agents, customers, we design product in both segments, non-par as well as par. And my sense is, since recently we gave this bonus 56,000 crore, it is very much attractive. PAR policyholders also get very high return. And if we design good product in PAR segment also, that will get attraction in the market. So my sense is both PAR as well as non-PAR, both will continue.
Sir, if I look at the market share, there has been a slight decline in market share on a year-to-year basis, and it could be understandable because the industry players are increasing and the pool is also increasing. How do you look at your market share? Will there be a time where LIC will look at, say, that I will have to maintain my market share at the cost of margins, or I will continue to grow and let the market grow as a whole?
You see, market share is a function of growth. The rate at which smaller players grow, for me, having a large base, it will be challenging. Having said that, we have our internal strategy. We cannot go below certain share in the market. That is our internal thing. But what we are focusing now is profitable growth. Post-listing growth over growth, that we are demonstrating profitable. So that is our focus area. So that in coming days you will get more profit, more bonus for policyholders, but at the same time markets are at certain level will maintain.
Sir, if I look at your embedded value, and you said that your embedded value grew at around 6.8% this year, is that a comfortable level of growth that you're looking for your embedded value going forward? Because you've been growing at a much higher rate actually.
It will further grow. And my sense is it will go further in the current year. Rate will be higher.
And how do you look at the market risk which is there, or economic risk which is there in today?
No, all these are embedded. Our people calculate everything while designing product, everything. So that will factor into.
In the last 1 year, sir, your exposure to the rural markets have increased with respect to distribution. How do you see product sales or product adaptability in that market, and your entire online digital framework of Ananda which you had launched, how is that expanding?
You see, if you see rural market particularly, I will just mention here, we have launched one Bima Sakhi, Women Empowerment Mahila Career Agent Scheme by Honorable Prime Minister on December 9th last.
Yeah.
And if you see the data, after Bima Sakhi launch, share of female insurance has gone up from 28% to 34% plus. And that is mostly from rural areas. And our objective for rural area, because we want to cover all rural panchayats. Every panchayat we should have at least one Bima Sakhi, so that to achieve the ultimate objective of insurance for all by 2047. What is the vision of Honorable Prime Minister, Government of India? We are working in that direction. So rural focus will be there for LIC.
And what about ULIP, sir? Because
ULIP, you see
that 166% growth,
yes,
which is a huge
ULIP last quarter, you see, we have shown substantial growth. That will continue because ULIP investors are different segment. They watch market, they take their own decision, they take their own risk, and that segment is to grow.
And you're going to bring in more product in the ULIP category?
It depends, depending upon our experience and feedback. Definitely some products will come in different segments, not only ULIP, but other segments also.
Sir, your investments have given, decent gains this year, and that also helped both policyholders and shareholders in terms of dividend and in terms of bonus which you have provided. What is the kind of investment that you are looking for FY26 into the markets?
Actually, it depends upon how market moves.
And what's your take on the market then? Let me ask you that way.
We are, you see, we are, as you know, contrarian investor. So even if market goes down, we also invest in good scripts, because that ultimately gains for all our policyholders. And current year, definitely last year experience, current year, let us see how market is moving. As per that, LIC will also take its action.
Sir, my final question, and I'm running out of time here. So, bank assurance is something which you've been focusing on, and you have doubled the contribution coming from bank assurance. How do you see bank assurance channel for you? And do you see, there's always this reports and talks about there could be some regulations that will come in for bank assurance. What is your view on it?
You see, last year our banca channel did extraordinarily well. Last year more than 5%, 5.6% share of banca premium to total premium. And current year definitely further growth will be there from that channel. Banca channel will give further growth. So far as regulation and other things are concerned, those will not affect LIC, because our banca channel is very disciplined and very. So I don't find any challenge for LIC to promote any banca product.
But are you looking at some regulations coming from the regulator for the banca channel?
There may be something, government or regulator may decide something that when it comes we'll be able to know.
Sir, as you leave on a very high note, to sum it up, VNB at the highest margin, highest bonus for the shareholders, highest single premium that you have done. You are also telling us that the VNB margins will head higher from here.
Yes.
And also the growth, APE growth will come back once this entire thing settles down, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.